Today I am going to teach about the stomach. Coming to the introduction of the stomach. This stomach is an expanded J-shaped organ. Superiorly, which it is in related to the esophagus. Inferiorly, which it is continuous as the duodenum. Coming to the external features of stomach. This stomach has two orifices, otherwise openings, and two curvatures, otherwise borders, and also the two surfaces. Okay, so these are all the external features of the stomach. That is, the stomach has two orifices, two curvatures, and two surfaces. Coming to the parts of stomach. This stomach is divided into four regions. Okay, so that is cardiac, fundus of stomach, body of the stomach, pyloric part of stomach. Okay, so first of all, cardiac part, okay, which surrounds the opening of esophagus into the stomach. Okay, so this is the cardiac which surrounds the opening of the esophagus into the stomach. Coming to the fundus of stomach, which is the large, so which is the area above the level of cardiac orifice. Okay, so this is the cardiac orifice now, so just above to the level of this cardiac orifice, that part is called it as fundus of stomach. Coming to the body of the stomach, which is the largest region of the stomach. Okay, so here that is the body of the stomach. Coming to the pyloric part, which it is the distal end of the stomach. Okay, proximal end is that is the cardia, and distal end is the pyloric part of the stomach. Okay, so it contains, and otherwise it is divides into pyloric antrum and pyloric canal. Okay, so these are all the parts of stomach: cardia, fundus of stomach, body of stomach, pyloric part of stomach. Coming to the ends of this presenting parts. Okay, so that is cardiac part and pyloric part. Okay, cardiac part, it lies at 2.5 centimeters left to median plane, 10 centimeters deep to the anterior abdominal wall, behind the 7th costal cartilage. It lies in between left lobe of liver, left crus of diaphragm. Okay, so that is the cardiac end. Coming to the pyloric end, it is more thicker, 1.25 centimeters right to median plane. It lies in between the quadrate lobe of liver and neck of pancreas. Okay, so which it is lies in between the quadrate lobe of liver and neck of pancreas. Coming to the borders, lesser curvature, greater curvature. Okay, so borders are, that is lesser curvature and greater curvature. Coming to the lesser curvature, which it is right side, and it is more fixed, J-shaped, gives attachment to the lesser omentum to the liver. Okay, so here we can see that is the lesser curvature. Okay, so this lesser curvature, which it is fixed, J-shaped, it gives attachment to the lesser omentum that is going towards the liver like this. Okay, so that is the lesser curvature. Coming to the greater curvature, which it is left side, 4 to 5 centimeters longer than lesser curvature. Okay, 4 to 5 centimeters longer than lesser curvature. Okay, it presents a bulging area as pyloric antrum. Okay, it presents a bulging part, that is called it as pyloric antrum. It gives attachment to the greater omentum. Okay, so this is the greater curvature of the stomach. Okay, this is the lesser curvature of the stomach. This greater curvature of the stomach, which it is gives attachment for the greater omentum. Lesser curvature gives the attachment for the lesser omentum. coming to the surfaces, antero-superior surface, posterior-inferior surface, antero-superior and posterior-inferior surface. Coming to the antero-superior surface relations, antero-superior surface relations are: left half of this surface is in contact with the diaphragm. Okay, left half of this surface is in contact with the diaphragm, which separates it from the base of left lung. Okay, which separates it from the base of left lung and also the pericardium. 7th, 8th, 9th ribs and intercostal spaces of the left side. Okay, so this left side, okay, left half of this surface is in contact with the diaphragm and left lung, pericardium, 7th, 8th, 9th ribs and also the intercostal spaces of the left side. Right half is in relation with the left and quadrate lobes of liver and with the anterior abdominal wall. Okay, so this is the antero-superior surface. Okay, so which it is in related to the, so this is the liver, left lobe of the liver, this is the quadrate lobe of the liver. Okay, so above which it is in related to the left lung, and here there will be a pericardium and which it is covered by the 7th, 8th, 9th ribs and the intercostal spaces. Okay, so that is about the antero-superior surface relations of the stomach. Coming to the posterior-inferior surface relations. Okay, so is in relation with the diaphragm, the spleen, left suprarenal gland and left kidney, antero-superior surface of pancreas, left colic flexure and the upper layer of the transverse mesocolon. Okay, so which it is in related to the diaphragm, spleen, left kidney, left suprarenal gland, pancreas, left colic flexure and the upper layer of the transverse mesocolon. Okay, so all these structures form a shallow bed, that is called it as stomach bed. Okay, so this is about the posterior inferior surface relations of the stomach. Okay, so these are all the relations of the posterior inferior surface, otherwise this is called it as the stomach bed. Okay, so here spleen which it is present, left kidney, left suprarenal gland and this is the upper layer of the transverse mesocolon and the pancreas and left crus of the diaphragm. Okay, so these are all the relations of the posterior inferior surface of the stomach. And coming to the superior relations, already we discussed this anterior and posterior relations. Okay, next coming to the superior relations of diaphragm, esophagus, left lobe of liver. Okay, so these are the superior relations. Next coming to the inferior relations of transverse colon and small intestine. Only inferiorly which it is related to the transverse colon and small intestine. Coming to the left side relations are diaphragm and spleen. Left side which it is related to the diaphragm and spleen. Right side relations are liver and duodenum. Okay, so superiorly diaphragm, esophagus, left lobe of liver. Inferiorly which it is related to the transverse colon, small intestine. Left side which it is related to the diaphragm, spleen. Right side which it is related to the liver and duodenum. Coming to the curvatures, okay, already we discussed, that is the greater curvature which it is the point of attachment for the gastrosplenic ligament and greater omentum. Okay, so that is the greater curvature of the stomach. Lesser curvature which it is a point of attachment for the lesser omentum. Coming to the sphincters, cardiac sphincter and pyloric sphincter. Cardiac sphincter closes off the top end of the stomach. Pyloric sphincter closes off the bottom. Okay, so that is about the cardiac sphincter and pyloric sphincter. This cardiac sphincter, okay, so the cardiac sphincter is a specialized valve found between the esophagus and the stomach. Okay, so this is the cardiac sphincter which it is lies in between the esophagus and the stomach. It prevents backflow of food and digestive enzymes. That is the cardiac sphincter. Pylorus and pyloric sphincter. Okay, so pylorus and pyloric sphincter. The pylorus is the back region of the stomach. It contracts to empty materials from the stomach into the small intestine. Okay, so the pyloric sphincter is a specialized valve that prevents materials and digestive enzymes from escaping into the small intestine before digestion is completed in the stomach. Okay, so that is about the pylorus and pyloric sphincter. Coming to the notches, cardiac notch, which it is the superior angle created when the esophagus enters into the stomach. Here there will be a cardiac notch, which it is the superior angle created when the esophagus enters the stomach. That is about the cardiac notch. Coming to the angular notch, which it is a bend on the lesser curvature. Okay, which it is the bend on the lesser curvature, that is the angular notch. Lesser omentum attaches the liver to the lesser curvature. Already we discussed. Okay, lesser curvature, that is the attachment to the liver to the lesser curvature, and greater omentum which it is attached to the greater curvature of the stomach towards the posterior body wall. Coming to the rugae. When empty, the stomach collapses inward, throwing its mucosa into large longitudinal folds, or called it as rugae. Okay, so these are all the mucosal folds. Okay, these are all the mucosal folds. Okay, when empty stomach, the stomach collapses inward, throwing its mucosa into large longitudinal folds. Okay, so these are all called it as the rugae. Coming to the ligaments of the stomach, that is the lesser omentum, greater omentum, gastrosplenic, gastrophrenic, gastropancreatic ligaments. Okay, these are all the ligaments of the stomach. Coming to the blood supply. Okay, first of all, arterial supply. So mainly the stomach, which it is supplied by the branches from the celiac trunk. Okay, so what are the branches from the celiac trunk? Okay, so first branch, that is the left gastric, splenic, common hepatic. From these, okay, so from the celiac trunk, okay, the stomach which it is supplied by left gastric artery. This is the left gastric artery, and this one is the right gastric artery, which it is a branch from the common hepatic artery. And also this is the splenic artery that gives short gastric artery, and also the left gastroepiploic artery, and right gastroepiploic artery, which it is the branch of gastroduodenal artery. Okay, the stomach which it is mainly arterial supply by the left gastric artery, right gastric artery, short gastric arteries, and right and left gastroepiploic arteries, which are supplies to the stomach. Coming to the venous drainage. Okay, so same thing, that is the left gastric vein, okay, right gastric vein, and right and left gastroepiploic veins. All these veins finally drains into the portal vein. Finally all these veins which are drains into the portal vein. This is the portal vein. Okay, so this is the left gastric vein, right gastric vein, and here left, right and left gastroepiploic veins. Okay, same thing So left gastroepiploic, right gastroepiploic veins, left gastroepiploic vein which it is drains into the splenic, right gastroepiploic veins which it is drains into the superior mesenteric vein, and left gastric, this is the left gastric vein drains into the portal vein here, okay, and here that is the right gastric vein drains into this superior mesenteric veins, okay. So this is about the venous drainage and arterial supply of the stomach. Next, coming to the lymphatic drainage, okay. Coming to the lymph nodes. What are the lymph nodes which are involved in the stomach? First group, that is the left gastric nodes, and then celiac nodes and hepatic nodes, subpyloric nodes, right gastroepiploic and pancreatico-splenic nodes, okay. So first is that left gastric, celiac nodes, hepatic nodes, subpyloric nodes, right gastroepiploic nodes and pancreatico-splenic nodes, okay. So these are all the lymph nodes. Coming to the lymphatic drainage. Lymph from the proximal portion of the stomach drains along the lesser curvature. First drains into superior gastric lymph nodes surrounding the left gastric artery, okay. Lymph from the proximal portion, okay, proximal portion of the stomach which it is drains along the lesser curvature into the superior gastric lymph nodes, superior gastric lymph nodes, okay. Coming to the distal portion of left, okay. So distal portion of this lesser curvature which it is drains into the suprapyloric group of lymph nodes, okay. Lesser curvature proximal part drains into superior gastric lymph nodes, and distal part of this lesser curvature which it is drains into the suprapyloric group of lymph nodes, okay. Next, coming to the proximal portion of the greater curvature, okay. So proximal portion of the greater curvature which it is drains into the pancreatico-splenic group of lymph nodes, pancreatico-splenic group of lymph nodes, okay. Distal portion of this greater curvature, okay. So these lymph nodes which are finally drains into the subpyloric and omental group of lymph nodes, okay. Proximal part of greater curvature drains into the pancreatico-splenic, and remaining portion of this greater curvature which are drains into the subpyloric group of lymph nodes. Coming to the nerve supply, that is sympathetic nerve supply and parasympathetic nerve supply. Sympathetic supply is the T6 to T9. Parasympathetic supply is mainly by the vagus nerve. Stomach innervation is mainly by the left and right vagus nerves. Parasympathetic innervation of stomach is mainly by the vagus nerve, okay. Sympathetic innervation of stomach is by the splanchnic nerves which are derived from spinal segments of T5 to T10, okay. So that is about the parasympathetic and sympathetic innervation of the stomach. Coming to the gastric nerves, okay. So anterior gastric nerve and posterior gastric nerve, okay. So this is the anterior gastric nerve, okay. So this gives branches to the gastric branches to the fundus and also the body of the stomach, and also the pyloric branches to the anterior surface of the stomach, okay. Coming to the posterior gastric nerves which are smaller and which are also supplies to the posterior surface of the fundus, and also the larger and celiac branches for the celiac plexus. It gives celiac branches to the celiac plexus, here celiac ganglion, okay. So this is about the anterior gastric nerve and also the posterior gastric nerves. Coming to the applied aspects, okay. So first of all, that is the hypertrophic pyloric stenosis, hypertrophic pyloric stenosis, okay. So this is mainly congenital anomaly. So that is gives rise to surgical procedure can be done. So here there will be a narrowing of this, okay. So pyloric part of this stomach, okay. So this is called it as hypertrophic pyloric stenosis, okay. So next coming to the peptic ulcers, okay. So that is mainly due to the pepsin and hydrochloric acid. Next coming to the carcinoma, that is mainly involved along the lesser curvature and also the greater curvature of the stomach, okay. So about to the applied aspects, mainly important is that hypertrophic pyloric stenosis and also the peptic ulcers and carcinomas of the stomach, okay. So this is about the stomach, okay. So thank you.